Hello, my dear. Welcome in. It's nice to see you again. Do you mind if I light a candle? Okay. I always like to set the mood for the therapy session. Yes. Okay. This is a nice green candle called Autumn Sugared Leaves. Yes, it matches my shirt. Okay. Perfect. And can I offer you some water or tea? Oh, wonderful. I just made some tea for myself, so I have boiled water here. Is this one fine? It's lemon balm tea. It's a great tea and it helps with calming the nervous system. Perfect. Okay. Careful, it's hot. Okay. So, last time I saw you, we were able to figure out after the assessment that the problems you mentioned you're having seem to be inner child problems. And it's very obvious that you have a wounded inner child. So I have a couple of things prepared for today's session, and I will ask you some questions and give you some advice. But if there is anything you are not comfortable talking about, just let me know. There is no pressure, okay? Yes. Just make sure that both of us are being very transparent and honest with each other. Okay? Okay. Yes. Oh, don't mind. I'm just making some notes here. So, how do you feel towards children now? Oh, you don't want to have any children of your own. Okay. Why is that? So I'm going to ask you some questions now, and all those questions will reveal a lot of information to me, and as your therapist I will be able to understand where your pain is coming from. Okay? So tell me, what was your childhood like? Rough. Okay. Right. So you felt neglected, ignored, and your parents were very busy. Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense because when we did the assessment, you told me a bunch of things about yourself and how you deal with things, and it's not very common, but a lot of people have inner child issues that are not dealt with, and things get worse with time because it's a wound that needs to be healed, right? So it makes total sense that you feel like you play the victim right? And you have a lot of guilt and shame. Right. Oh yeah, you mentioned you feel like you need validation in a relationship or from people, and that's why you do a lot of work on your face, or you feel like you're never good enough, right? Yeah. Yeah, that unfortunately happens when our parents, especially, well, for women, it's the mother is the first ideal person they look up to, and for men, it's usually their father. So if any of those parents are missing, it gets really hard in real life when we grew up to move on, really, because it's our parents' duty to make us feel loved and, prepare us for the world, right? Yeah. Okay. So, what was your last relationship like? Okay. Right. So you couldn't say no to your abusive husband, and he used to be abusive to you, like domestic violence. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Well, those are boundary issues. Yeah. Well, that happens because most of the time our parents tell us always to be the good kid, and the good kid never says no, always say yes to mama, papa. And what happens is, with time, when we grow up, this is what we carry along with us, right? And then when we are in an abusive relationship, what happens is, in that time, you go back to that thinking, and you think to yourself, I have to stay married, I have to make this work, because I'm a good woman, for example. And the same thing also for men. And it's very painful and sad to see, for me as a therapist, because I can understand and I can feel your pain, where it's coming from. Yeah, but don't worry. Yeah, we'll get through this together. Okay. So, I don't know if you remember, because you told me you had to move quite a bit, but describe your childhood bedroom as best as possible. Yeah. Okay. So it was just a normal bedroom, no colors, not so many toys. Yeah. Okay. I asked you this because this question tells me a lot about the conditions of a patient, and you telling me that it was a very plain and blank bedroom, and it wasn't pink for a girl like you or blue for your brother, as it's usually supposed to be. And some parents ignore those things, but it's very important, because your bedroom as a child is like your first private area, like your private room where you can be and sleep and spend time and play with your toys. And if that is not nicely decorated and put love into it, it does have an effect on your personality, yeah. And later in life, it does reflect in several areas of life. There are always reasons why people are claustrophobic, or anxious, depressed, they have mental issues, or people are hoarders. There are always reasons, and unfortunately, all of them trace back to our childhood. Yeah. Okay. And what was your safe place as a kid? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Your bed. Okay. I'm asking this because today we are working on your inner child, and I will give you some exercises you can work on with. But if you tell me as a child your safe place was your bed, as a therapist, I will tell you, and I always tell all my clients, whenever you're feeling down, upset, or just lonely or anxious, go to your safe place. So how do you know what is my safe place? The answer lies in your childhood safe place. So, and by the way, I'm the same way. I feel very safe in my bed. I have my books with me, and when I'm feeling not well, I stay more in my bed. A lot of people do that, and it's unconsciously, they don't even know. Okay. Okay. Last question before we move on to the next chapter. Who did you look up to as a child? Was it your mother, your father, or somebody else in the family? Okay, your mother, but she was not really there. Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Don't worry, we will take away all the pain and give all the love and nurturing and pampering your inner child needs. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, what I will suggest we will do, and this is something that people who have problems with their inner child should do, is to reparent. This is a term that is very obvious. Our parents were not there for us, or they didn't do a good job being a parent, and you think you grew up, but deep down inside of you there is your inner child that needs that healing, that needs that love. So we have to do that, and we have to create a very nice, loving inner parent. Okay, and we will train that parent and make that parent love your inner child. Yeah. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. Right, if you have any questions, you just ask me, okay? Do not hesitate. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So, there is a thing called mirror work. So just like the name suggests, we get up every morning, we see ourselves in the mirror. And a lot of people and therapists recommend keeping a journal, like a diary, where you write down stuff. But it is more effective if you look into the mirror, into the eyes of the person that is looking at you, and that is you. And I want you to say good affirmations to yourself every day, okay? And I will give you a few affirmations later, but the ones I want to tell you now that are very easy and very important, okay? These are: mistakes are okay. I will love myself no matter what. And then, it's okay. I will keep you safe now. Inner, and then you say your name. Okay? And every time you're feeling anxious, you just say this to yourself: I will keep you safe. Do not worry. Okay? You are worthy just as you are. Okay? We are free to rest, play, and to do whatever we want just for ourselves. Okay? Because when you were a little girl or a little boy, you were not able to do what you wanted to do because that childhood, that time that belonged to you was taken away from you. Alright? Yeah. And also, it's important that you surround yourself with very nicely loving people, okay? And that is family, friends, colleagues. If anybody is bad or mean to you, especially to people who have inner child problems, is something that I say this to. Do not ignore if somebody's trying to be mean to you, if somebody's trying to be hurtful, or judgmental, because you have had enough. You have had enough of this being a child, but you just didn't know. You do know now. So now you can speak up. And in another session, I will help you to set boundaries and speak up for yourself, okay? But for now, it is important to just get away from those negative people who are mean, who are similar to your abusive mother or similar to your abusive father, and you do not want that kind of energy in your life. Not anymore. Okay? Okay. All right. Tell me, how are you feeling? Yeah, because I do know you told me you get easily triggered. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, you are afraid to be alone. Okay. See, the thing is, a lot of people are afraid to be alone because they were abandoned as a child, even if it was for a year or two, and mothers were partying or working hard or just not being there for their child, being absent. What happens is when you grow up, you have abandonment issues, yeah. Or even fathers, they leave or always working, or alcoholics, and those children, when they grow up, they have a fear of abandonment. Yeah, do not blame yourself, because this is not your fault. You didn't choose this, but you are very close to healing yourself, to giving yourself a new life, a second chance, because you are in power, and nobody is you, and that is your power. Okay? Okay. Now I would like to tell you some exercises that you can do, okay? And I want you to do them, because when I see you next time, I'm sure I will see a positive progress in you, and also you will feel much better. Yeah. Okay. So, one of the things I want you to do as an exercise, and this is very, very important, you should engage in your favorite childhood activity, okay? That can be anything that you used to do when you were a child and you really enjoyed it. Yeah, it can be reading, it can be going swimming. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I just have to make some notes here. Yeah, so any activity that you used to do as a child, because when you do that, it will nurture your inner child, and you will feel it. You will just feel like a child again. Yeah, do it alone, do it with somebody else, but do it with a positive person. Yeah. So we are rebuilding those memories. We are reparenting ourselves, okay? Yeah. Like for me, what I like to do, I make crafts at home sometimes, or I decorate my place. I used to do that when I was a little girl too. And I like to bake, because baking is something I used to do as a little girl a lot. So that really helps. And even if you don't have inner child issues, it never harms repeating something that you used to do when you were a child. Okay. Okay. And then I want you to write a letter to your absent or abusive mother or father, whoever hurt you or whoever you feel like you have complaints with. You don't send them the letter. You don't tell them you wrote it. You don't even show me. I don't want to read it. It's just for you to write it. And you speak your truth. Okay? No, you just tell them in the letter, dear mother, I'm writing this letter to you, telling you that you really hurt me when you ignored me when I was 9 years old. You didn't come to my school graduation party. Whatever it is that hurt you and you remember it, speak it. You just fold the letter, put it in an envelope, and just tuck it away. But it will take away your pain. You will feel it, and we will talk about it in the next session. But for now, this is something I want you to do. You have a week's time. Yeah, do that. And that we are already speaking of letter writing. The most important thing here, write a letter to yourself. Okay, you don't have to give it to me. I don't want to see it. This is personal. This is for yourself. Okay. And in that letter, I want you to write, dear little, in your name, Maria in this case. You write to yourself, I see you are a little girl, and I love how you do your ponytails. I am so proud of you. Tomorrow is your birthday. You will be 5 years old. Whatever that has happened to you, and you felt like your parent was missing and they were absent or they were rude to you, you just take over that time period and be that parent, become that parent they should have been. Okay. So this is your homework, and also if you want any work to work on and you're open to it, I don't know how you're feeling right now, because all this entire conversation brought up a lot of emotions and memories. If you're feeling okay with it, I'm offering to you some worksheets to work on your inner child. Yeah, you just have to fill them out. Right. Yes. Because if you work on them and you write down things, answer those questions that are on this worksheet, it will heal you. And every step that we take towards inner healing is priceless. It's self-investment. And I'm so glad you are here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so you're asking me what I can give you for anxiety. Well, you know how I feel about medications. Yeah, not very supportive of that. It's all inner trauma, inner pain, and why numb your brain with it? Why hurt yourself even more and get addicted towards something that isn't good for you? So I have something that I personally use, and I think it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. I have to show this to you. This right here should be your pepper spray, really. Women carry so many things with them, men have a lot of things with them, but what do you really do when you are getting a panic attack, if you're getting anxious, right? So this is something I discovered on the internet, and I would love to share this with you. It's called a functional fragrance from the brand The New CO, and it has like a pattern of some kind of molecules or something, and it doesn't say the ingredients in it right now, but all that stuff that it has, it helps with anxiety. So whenever you're feeling anxious, spray this on your wrist. Look, I'll just do it now. Smell it. See? Yeah, this is a amazing anxiety relief fragrance. So it even says use daily or as required to calm and recenter. It has frankincense, myrrh, and certain essential oils. Yeah, and those are perfect to calm you down, and this is why it's made. It also smells great, right? But you smell it whenever you're feeling anxious, especially before going to bed, entering a room with a lot of people or anything. So I think this is amazing. Yeah, just thought it would be nice to share this with you. Okay, so you have a lot of homework to do, and before I let you go and I see you next week, I did want to suggest a book to you. And it has helped a lot of patients, because sometimes it's better to sit down and read for yourself what it is and why certain things are the way they are, right? Yeah, do you agree? Okay, I'll give you this book. Right, so this book is called Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents: How to Heal from Distant, Rejecting, or Self-Involved Parents. This is an amazing self-healing book. And, well, it's a long text and description in the back, but this part right here, which is why I am suggesting this to you, is listen to what it says. Discover the 4 types of difficult parents. The emotional parent instills feelings of instability and anxiety. The driven parent stays busy trying to perfect everything and everyone. The passive parent avoids dealing with anything upsetting. Or the rejecting parent is withdrawn, dismissive, and derogatory. So this book, it doesn't say the price on it, but it is priceless, literally. I mean, it explains all the types of parents one can have, and you understand, like, if you understand things, half the pain, half the torture is almost gone. So, yeah, you have a lot of things to do now, right? Yeah. I hope you're feeling better now. Okay. Yeah, just go home, and take some rest, go to sleep, and the tea will help you. Okay. Well, you have my email address and my number. If anything happens, do not hesitate to call. And we have an appointment anyway next week, right? But if you feel ever the feeling the urge to hurt yourself or others, please call the police or national helpline. Okay? Yes. Okay. All right. I'm always happy to see you. Okay. Well, thank you for coming in. Yeah. Have a great week ahead, and I'll see you soon.